Hey yo, it's Nook2 here with another comic book haul. Um, this video is going to consist of an eBay purchase, some dollar book finds, some more books from that warehouse sale that I went to. I did pick up two long boxes as I first mentioned, so I'm still going through those books. And then also some figures and a statue. So first, as always, I want to thank everyone who has taken their time to watch my video. I appreciate it. And let's get started. So we have here Immortal Iron Fist number 17, the uh, Dragon Emblem variant, and in a 9.8. So I have this book that I've shown before in a video in raw form. But this was on, I wasn't even looking for it, but it was on there. I don't know why it was in my feed, but it showed up and it was $100. And, which, if you don't know, a 9.8 of this cover uh, goes for way more than that. I mean, the raw that I have, I think I paid almost $100 for that book. I probably did pay $100 with shipping. And so I saw this, and it was listed for $99 plus best offer, and I went ahead and bought it now for the $99 because I was afraid if I put in a best offer, I don't know what he would have accepted, but let's just say he would have accepted 85 or 90 bucks. I was afraid someone was going to buy it for the $99 that I missed out. I mean, this book goes for way more than that amount if you didn't know already. So I went ahead and bought that book. However, the seller also offered a 10% discount if you bought two or more books. So I was like, well, maybe I could buy another issue and get 10% off, which then would make it 90 bucks. So I did. I found another issue that I did not have before of Adam Hughes, my favorite cover artist. Still wishing him well. Haven't heard any updates on his status. I'm sure he's had his resection already. But this is Spider Gwen, number one variant by Adam Hughes. This is the black and white version. Color, I don't even know what year this came out, but I didn't have this issue, and I had never seen the black and white variant. It's not a sketch variant. It is a color chrome, monochrome black and white cover. It's a little hard to tell it's Adam Hughes, honestly, and so I never really picked it up because I didn't think it was worth what some sellers were asking for. I figured one day I'd come across it. I do think it's a store exclusive cover, so usually those have a print run of about 10,000. So I figured one day I'd come across it. I paid $18 for that, but then with a 10% discount for the combined, so $10 off the Immortal Iron Fist, and then it was listed for 20, so $2 off that, $18, and then combined shipping. So I picked that up, and I'm glad to have that book. Some other Adam Hughes covers that come out recently. This is Black Cat number 11 from this month, I believe, August for 2026. Nice looking cover. Sometimes his covers, they're not in your face Adam Hughes covers, right? I mean, you can say yes, that's Adam Hughes, 100%. Other than his signature, but it's a nice cover. I did like that, and I mean, obviously, new release. I'm not gonna not get an Adam Hughes cover, and then they had the Black Cat variant by J. Scott Campbell. Black Cat looking good, but I think the Punisher's off. Even though he doesn't have his shirt on, I think he looks a little thin. He's muscular and all, but I think that when I think of the Punisher, I think of him having a little bit more bulk. I'm not saying that he's overweight, but I just think he has a little bit more bulk. Maybe they're they're kind of making them look a little bit more slender, I guess is the right word. Like John, what's his name? John Benethal, who plays the uh, series character on Disney. So, but nice looking cover. I think it's one of those covers that you hold on to, and we'll see. I'm sure there's a massive print run on this cover. It's a regular variant ratio. I got this book. I don't even know when this came out, but this was a signed copy of Alex Maleev, Logan Black and White and Blood. There's a certificate of authenticity. Sometimes Midtown runs this thing and they include the certificate. Nice looking cover with a red signature Sharpie. So I bought that, and then and that was cover price. It wasn't like it was extra. Sometimes they do charge extra for the signature. Maybe it was $1 more, so $5.99, $6.99. I can't recall. I don't think it was much more than that because I wouldn't have bought it. Some of the other artists they charge a premium for, but not for that one. This is in my pile of new comic Wednesday purchases. Ultimate Spider-Man number 22 from December of 2025. I like the reason why I'm showing this is I like this. All the Ultimates, they try to do this motif, same pattern, but then the variants I think look great. I think the variants look, it's kind of like that semi-virgin variant for DC. This is the Declan Shalavi cover. Like that green cover with the spider tentacles on there, and then you have normal ratio variant. None of these books they're all cover price, and then the Dr. Octavius variant cover. Those came out in December. So what else we got here? All right. So at the 40-cent sale, I found this Spider-Man Red Sonja crossover with Venom, and I think that's that guy Raw something. I bought that book because it was in near mint. It was a Lucy, wasn't bagged or boarded, but it was still in great shape. And it's by the late Michael Turner. Nothing else to say about it. I mean, it's Venom looks awesome, Red Sonja looks awesome, Spider-Man looks awesome, but Michael Turner. So, also at that 40-cent sale, I got Wonder Woman number 614, a Josh Middleton cover, nice looking cover. Some more Adam Hughes. These were in high grade. I don't know how many copies I have of this. Ghost number 6, early Adam Hughes work, and number 7. I haven't even rebagged and boarded those, but they're in great shape. I picked those up because this comic was with it, and for 40 cents, this is a great cover by early Jenny Frison work, Ghost number 0. I don't think this was earlier. This is like a new series, and this is from 2012. Now this book does go for it goes for a respectable $10. I think give it some more time, and it's gonna mature into maybe a little bit more, but we'll see. And then some other Adam Hughes covers for 40 cents. I have a number of copies of that. I mean, they probably printed a ton of these. These are the Gotham War from 2023, Adam Hughes. And then this Mike Perkins foil variant from Nightwing, when they did all those foil variant covers that month for DC across their series. So I have that already too. Justice just a little bit. There you go. All right, now this next book here. What do I want to say about this book? I have been looking for this book for a long time, and you don't see it very often on. At least I don't in all the stores that I go to, LCSs that I've been to, that I've seen this book in high grade for a reasonable amount of money. Um, I don't quite consider Tombstone a A level villain for Spider-Man, um, but I have looked at this book and I did not and I just knew one day I would find it for $1 and $1 bin, and finally I found it. I mean, I've a Web of Spider-Man number 36, which is the first appearance of Tombstone. This is probably near mint minus, maybe VF plus. There's like, I don't know if you can tell, there's a spine tick right there, but it doesn't break color. And so usually when I see this book on a wall, the store has it for 25, 20, $30, and I don't think in the condition that it's been in that it's not that it was worth that, so I always passed it up. If it would have been like $10 or something, I probably would have picked it up. But again, I consider Tombstone a B level villain that's slowly getting some clout. But when I found that for $1 in a dollar sale, I was like, oh, finally. I said it out loud. Finally found you. And that's a VF plus, near mint minus, because again, there's one spine tick you can see that, that still qualifies for near mint. Really high glossy book. I don't understand why Web of Spider-Man doesn't have more valuable issues. I mean, there's like maybe, I don't know, 10, if 10, but maybe 10 books that have a value of $20 or more. And then there's, same with Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man. I was I was a kid when that series started, and the kid across the street from me who introduced me to comics at the young age of 4 had come over when Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man #1 came out, and he was so excited. They made a new series of Spider-Man who was, so popular. And, first it was only Amazing Spider-Man, then came Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up, and then I think Marvel Team Up was there before Peter Parker. I'm almost sure it started before Peter Parker. So the third series of Spider-Man. And he was all excited and was telling me about it. And, at 4, I was thinking, oh man, I wish, we had the money to buy new comics off the rack, but we didn't have that. We didn't have that kind of finances that I could just get new comics every week that got released. But I remember that fondly. And Peter Parker also is a series. I mean, the Spectacular Spider-Man is a long running series that went from Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man to just Spectacular Spider-Man, and there's probably maybe 10 or 15 comic issues that are worth more than $20. Very, very few. There have been some that have peaked and then come back down after speculation, but this is one of the Web of Spider-Mans that's worth some money. Then I got this dollar issue, high grade Marvel 2-in-1 thing, and the Ben Grimm. This was the last issue of the original series, Marvel 2-in-1. And then, I have had copies of this. I bought this when it originally came out in 1989. I enjoyed Justice League America, the Griffin what's his name? DeMatteis. Yeah, DeMatteis run. And that was in high grade, and it was a Lucy. And that is the first Adam Hughes issue. So Adam Hughes cover with Fire and Ice, and interior arts. He also did the art interior, which isn't bad. I've criticized that or not criticized, I've just commented that his interior artwork was not my favorite of his, more so than his covers. I mean, now he's mostly just a cover artist. He's done a few books here and there for interiors like Hellboy, but mostly he does interior artwork. I mean, exterior covers. And so that's his first issue in Justice League America, and so I figured I'd buy that for 40 cents. Not sure if I would have bought it for $1 because I've passed it up numerous times, but for 40 cents, yeah, I'll buy that. And then speaking of Adam Hughes, they finally did a facsimile of Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes. One of my top 3 Adam Hughes covers. He's done an interview before where he thinks this is his most perfect cover he's ever done. His favorite, not his favorite, but at least his most, he thought, best work he's ever done overall. The way the cape is flying, the way she's looking, sitting on the meteor, proportions, etc. I mean, she's looking gorgeous there. And I have the original that I bought years ago, graded. It was actually my first Facebook purchase. And I think I paid $700 for that book. So these came out last month, I believe, and I bought multiple copies of that just because it's just such a gorgeous cover. And then, of course, I bought the foil, which looks great in Mylar, the foil version. Bought a number of those. If I ever see those in dollar bins or somewhere, I'll be picking those up too. And then this came out, Zatanna. I think this is one of the last few covers he did before he got sick and went to surgery. This came out, it was either last month or early this month. Great looking cover. I'm playing the banjo, the devil, and death. And then we have this here. I think I've shown this already before, but Power Girl and Black Cat. Nice looking cover. I like that. This is Spider-Man Superman #1. $7.99. I paid cover price. I'm sure it's going to come up somewhere in a dollar bin. And Incredible Hulk 342, Todd McFarlane run. This is VF minus or VF plus. It's got a couple of spine ticks, but overall still intact and nice looking book. It was $1 book fine, but that doesn't. There's 2 issues that actually he did with the Hulk that are worth some money. 340 with Wolverine, obviously that's homaged, and then the purple cover where he's breaking the logo up with his hands. I think that's 346 maybe. And then I wanted to show this Supergirl number 14, the Jim Lee watercolor variant. Beautiful cover. What do I want to say about that? Well, the main thing I don't think that people that are criticizing the movie and blaming Millie Alcock for the non-success of the movie is fair. I do agree. The storyline was kind of chaotic, and I didn't like it. But I grew up in a time when superhero movies were terrible. I mean, they didn't even make it to the theater. They went straight to TV, and the special effects were horrendous, and it just was not a good product. So nowadays, anytime a movie comes out that's a superhero-based comic character or movie, even if it's on Netflix, like Old Guard and some of those movies that come out, I still Butterfly and on Amazon, I'll still watch it to support the genre, because I remember when there was none, And if we stop supporting them, then they'll stop making them. And yeah, the movie was a little lacked direction, and I didn't like how they made Supergirl so vulnerable, getting beat up and hurt, and it seemed a little excessive. But so it wasn't my favorite movie, but again, it was a fun movie to go to and see. I think Millie is a gorgeous young little girl, young little lady. I mean, she's only in her 20s, and people are criticizing her, like, um, making fun of her, which is so inappropriate, of her looks and her teeth. And, I just think that we live in this society where people just think they can say harsh and hateful things just because. I mean, you know, we should be building people up and not tearing them down. But that's currently the society we live in. So, but that's just my 2 cents worth of it. I enjoyed the movie to an extent. I think Jason Momoa did a great job playing Lobo. Looks like the part. What else do I want to say? He really didn't have any purpose in the movie. They just added him in there to add another character. I thought the main villain was kind of silly. But I did like how they introduced Supergirl and how she got off of Krypton before it exploded. So I really wish they would have had Dog in there for Lobo. Dog is his bulldog that he's seen a lot in comics, but I don't know if you know this or not, but the bulldog Lobo killed in one of his issues. It's either, I want to say it's like issue 58. His bulldog got possessed and he had to kill it. I think he got another dog later. But it's not the same one, the original one. And the bulldog is one of the things, because I have bulldogs, is one of the things that makes Lobo like one of my favorite characters, because his love of dog, DAWG is what he named it, Dog. But anyway, so transition from Supergirl to some action figures and statues. So me and my son were out. He wanted to get some video games and some old video games. And we went to this franchise chain of store that sells CDs, video games, and some pop culture stuff, action figures, resell stuff. And he got a couple of video games. Now, when they first started selling comics, I would dig in there, and they were $1 books or $2 books, and you could find some really like nice books in there for $1, $2. And then now the local area has some guy that's pricing them, and I don't know what he's using as his price guide, but probably eBay. But the prices are what do I want to say? They're not reflective of the condition of the book. And because of that, I have just stopped digging in their long boxes because they're on the floor, and I don't think it's worth my time. So, but with that, I did purchase this with my son, who got 3 video games, and that was this CoverGirl statue, Adam Hughes design, and this was there. And one thing about the record exchange is they will negotiate on the price, right? So, but they can't negotiate on new stuff. So my son did buy a couple of new video games, and then he got a couple of old video games. And I asked the guy, since we're buying so many, would he could negotiate on a price? And he was telling me, well, I can't, discount the new games, but I could possibly discount the old games if you had something else or something else that you wanted. And so I said, how about this? Now, for those of you who don't know, this statue runs $150 to $200. And they had it priced at $80. I said, can you offer a discount on this if we buy these 4 video games? And he said, sure. How about $50? And I said, sold. I did take it out of the box to confirm that it was intact and wasn't broke. These are the figures. I have this one here with Wonder Woman. I won in a raffle, actually. I didn't even know I had entered it, to be honest. And I have this one, Power Girl. I wouldn't mind getting Zatanna, these 3 here, Black Canary, Catwoman. I think they look pretty good, but we'll see. But $50 was a great deal. Since we're doing action figures, I'm going to show some more. This I got at a Walmart out of town. And this is Jade, the Chase Edition, Platinum Edition, McFarlane. But one, I really wish I would have bought more because they had like 4 or 5 of these there, and I only picked up one. It was $25. Mainly because we had flown, and I didn't want to carry a bunch of crap with me. But this, the back cover is by Adam Hughes. The back of the box, and there's a trading card in there of that back cover. Not to mention the figure is pretty awesome with the flames on the hands, and you know, I mean that's just a nice figure. But I really wish I would have bought at least 2. That way I could open one, take the card out. And but you know, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to open that or not. And then I got this second one I have of Uncanny X-Men. Mainly, again, it's because I want to maybe open that one up. This is Mystique, and this version here, it's all about the card, right? David Nakayama. And so I haven't decided yet if I'm going to open that up. It's a nice looking figure. Much better than the original Mystique they did. Let's see, where do I have? I have a little X-Men. I mean, this looks more like the John Byrne Mystique, right? It comes with a head and a gun. And then this is the original Mystique. Mr. Sinister, X-23, Psylocke, Guardian, Bishop. I just probably laid them on there. They don't belong in that cube, but yeah, the build a figure Apocalypse and the Josh Whedon, I think, Astonishing X-Men variant of Wolverine, some old Magneto and X-Men. I don't even know who that figure is, or that figure. That's not Wendigo, that's the white Sasquatch Omega Red. But but I do like this version better. So we'll see. Maybe I'll open them, I don't know. And then I got this, which was Spider-Man Cardiac. What do I want to say about that? Now, figures have gone up in price drastically because of cost of plastic. You know, this normally was $30 new, and I think I got this around Easter. It was on sale, and it was $17. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. They only had one left. I figured, you know, some of the other figures were even discounted more, but this hadn't gotten there yet because it was still newer. And then I was like, well, $17. I'm going to go ahead and buy it. I mean, I remember when figures were only $10, $8.99 when the original Toy Biz, and they had tons of plastic. Granted, that was 26 years ago plus, and now they've gone from $8.99 to $29.99. And then let's see, I have this, which is the Chase edition of Blackhawk from McFarlane, which, you know, I paid regular price for that, and that was $30. That's probably what it still goes for. It hasn't gone up in value, even though it's the Platinum edition. But it comes with all these guns, a shotgun, a Tommy gun, a AK, a pistol, and then this little thing here, which it took me a while, but it's actually hair, so I'm assuming the hat comes off and you can replace it with hair. And then the regular edition is blue. They had both, but I figured, yeah, I just want the black one. So not very nice looking figure too. And then my last two figures that I want to show is Fire. I may have shown this before. I'm showing it again because, one, it's my video, but also because of this. Fire and Ice. So, I don't know if they were Target exclusives or not, but I did get them at Target. And so that one, I think they were both $19.99 a piece when I got them. But both of those, you know, they became popular with this Adam Hughes Fire and Ice, right? And so I thought I'd show these two figures because of the tie-in with the comics that I was showing in this haul. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. And that's my haul. We'll talk later. Peace.